Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Come along and ride with me on this fantastic voyage. These are the newest video game releases of November 1982. We were last reading electronic fun with computers and games. Let's see what our next game is. Lots of games to go through. We're now going to play on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Escape from Colditz. Colditz. I thought for sure we'd seen a game that had Colditz in the title, but no, this is the very first one we've seen. Colditz being the real World War II facility. There's similarly themed games on other platforms. This one's done by Martin Malley. And from what I've been told, this is a port that is off of another version that we should have seen but haven't seen yet. Would we like an introduction? Yes. Tell us. I guess that's the introduction we have. I've heard this one's very, very buggy. Apparently, this was on the Sharp MZ line of home computers around April 1981, or at least it was advertised in Practical Computing in April 1981, and then reviewed in Computer and Video Games, but I don't know if we ever saw that. On the TRS-80, there's a game called Escape from Colditz as well. This one was a type-in game from issue 11 of Computer and Video Games magazine, so another one, it was a type-in game. We didn't see that one either. So this one is the ZX Spectrum version. It's Martin Malley that did this, and it's an unofficial port, apparently, because there's no real publisher for this. It is extremely buggy, so we're probably going to see lots of bugs as we try to type our way through this adventure. This marks the 120th game that we played on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and it is the very first game that we played with Colditz in the title. All right, so we're at the Appel section of the prisoner's courtyard. Not a good sign. What shall we do? Can we go south? I don't know what a south is. Uh-oh. If it's going to be like that, then we're in a lot of trouble. What about if I do it in caps? Go south? Okay, you may pass through. Okay, the guards didn't like lowercase. They loved capital letters, though. You're at the prisoner's courtyard. There's a manhole cover by the wall. What shall we do? Can we go east? Okay, you may pass through. Are we going to go through the security every single time we move around? I don't think we've seen a text adventure game that's done that. You're at the dentist surgery. Yikes. And there is a pass card here. Get pass card. Something about this feels like it should be... Yeah, it doesn't know what it is. Oh, gosh. This game feels like it should have been a type-in game. Like we should have typed it in from a magazine. The quality is way, way down. Get pass card. Does it understand that? Oh, it does. Wow, I understand 3 words. That's pretty impressive. I know, I was expecting that too, Paul. But yeah, this is just a type-in adventure game. A very lackluster one too. Simple text parser. It feels like this one isn't polished, and it is feel buggy. However, we haven't got any bugs that have like crashed the game for us. All right, so let's go ahead and go west. Maybe we will get a crash. Or maybe not. If you've been here since the beginning, we used to do text adventure games without looking at any walkthroughs and just going for it as if it was released when it came out. It didn't go over so well. Now we actually follow some walkthroughs if we can find them. You're at the prisoner's courtyard. There's a manhole cover by the wall. Okay, we're back where we were. Nice. Let's go north. And don't get shot. Guards are going to make sure we can pass every time we move. I've never seen that in a text adventure game. You can pass. You're at the Appel. Okay, we're back where we're at the prisoner's courtyard. All right, let's go north again. I don't think I'll be making a map for this one. This one just feels slower and, oh man, I've already seen from the beginning, we didn't get the instructions like we were supposed to. It just goes right into the game. Yeah, that's a much better idea, Marshall. Let's do that. Okay, you can pass through. The guard on duty stops you. Uh-oh, that's not good. He says, "What is your identification?" Well, our identification, I guess we'll show... pass card. This is actually really cool that it's understanding 3 words. We did it. We're at the guardhouse, and around us is a guard. So I guess I shouldn't blame the text parser for being that bad, but there's something missing from this. It just feels too simple. This is the 217th text adventure game, text-only adventure game that we played on the show. Since the beginning of time here on Chronologically Gaming, there's a lot of text-only adventure games. I still, I couldn't get into it as much, and yeah, my hopes were for something much bigger. For the first time we ever saw Escape from Colditz, or anything like Colditz, this one apparently is an unofficial port. The official ones were either a type-in from a magazine or from Sharp MZ that were escaped from Colditz. So if this really is the first time we're going to play this, look for more. We'll be seeing later better ones than this one. Manly's already thrown out 2 stars, and you know what? We're on the same wavelength, Manly. Of all the games you could play across all computers and micros at home, I'm seeing 2 stars as well for Escape from Colditz, the very first time we could ever see. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. Yes, right? Being generous. Maybe I'm being a little generous tonight. Our next game takes us to the TRS-80. This is Exterminate. One home computer to another. Let's check out Exterminate. All we got is a few screenshots for this one, so no information other than that. Let's pop it in play. Exterminate by JMG Software International at the beginning of November 1982. So this one is... I think all we got to do is type... Actually, let's see. We might just have to do Exterminate. I don't remember which one, or if it uses the joystick or not. This is the very first game we've seen by JMG International. So there it is, Extermin. And go. There's another game in that's called Exterminate on the TRS-80 that came out in September 1981 from Softside Magazine. George Gedzi did that one, but it's not the same. This is a totally different game. All right, so we can do a 1 or 2 player game. It does do arcade style, so you don't get to play with 2 people simultaneously. I'm already getting the black and white or single color vibes, because you can switch the colors out if you need to. Let's go ahead and do a 1 player game. All right, let's do it. This is only for the TRS-80, and this is the 133rd game we played on the TRS-80. All right, any key to start. Does the joystick work? It does. So I'm way over in the top right of the screen. If you can see, I'm represented by an arrow. And I have a shot to fire, and it's like I'm able to shoot and dig through the walls. But here's the thing. The other enemies are represented by the carrots or the arrows that are down the bottom. They're digging too. If they make it to the other side, then it's game over. I die. I actually have to make sure they don't reach the other side. And they definitely did. So because they made it to the other side, I got game over. Player 1. Interesting idea, though. Is the enemy supposed to be like vermin or insects or something? Oh, we don't even get to do a high score. Our score is too low. Darn. I really like when the TRS-80 lets us have a high score table. But right now we're just sucking too much. Okay, so let's go 1 player again. This would have been great to play 2 players at the same time. But alas, it's just like the arcade. Hot seat style, you have to take turns with a friend if you do that. So what I'm going to do is dig my way down here. Oh, the other enemies are shooting as well. So I actually got to watch out for their shots. Take them out. And this almost feels like a lesson in futility. Like, no matter what, I'm going to end up... Oh, but if they get us... Is that a game over? Oh, no, I appear back at the top. So it's an ultimate game over if you... if the enemies reach the other side. If they don't reach the other side and you just die from their shot, you get a few lives. So we're just supposed to be able to take them out. Let's see if we can get behind these guys. And this is joystick controlled. I got my joystick plugged into the TRS-80 playing, which is a nice touch. Let's see if we can take out these guys over here. Oh, nope. So we got another one. How many lives do I have? Looks like rovers. I'm down to 1. But really interesting concept. It's like a digging game, but it's also a shooting game at the same time. So I'll give it this. It's not trying to be something that we've seen before. It's not trying to be a variant or a clone of anything. In fact, at this point, we saw a type-in game for the TRS-80 that was really, really close to Boulder Dash, which doesn't exist yet. Oh, did one make it? Oh, I think I got him. I faked him out. So cool idea, but you notice that whenever the area gets blown away and there's nothing left to dig through, it's essentially just trying to get them to stop getting to the other side. Oh, wait, no, we got another one down at the bottom. No, he's going to make it. I don't think he did. How many have to get to the other side before? We also have a time limit in the top left, and EBS is 13. Anyone guesses what EBS would be? I have no idea. Oh, kind of like that. I can see the centipede kind of gameplay, but not really, because we're able to. That's true. We're able to shoot past everything as if it was the mushrooms in Centipede. But this one isn't creating any more. So yeah, I like that. It's kind of like Centipede. It's still a shooter, What in the world is that? Oh, look, an asterisk came by and gave us more to dig through. Nice. So game over. What's our high score now? Wait, we get a score of 0? What? Why is our score 0? Is our purpose in life not to shoot all the other enemies? So now, what is the point of the goal? If I'm not supposed to shoot anything or dig, I'm not getting points for digging, and I'm not getting points for shooting them. Now I gotta know what's going on with Exterminate. And also, don't even know who did this. Who was the developer of Exterminate on the TRS-80? This one is of all the digging type games we played, or like arcade style digging. The big famous ones, of course, you know, are Dig Dug or Adventures of Robbie Roto. This one's the 14th game we played that's an arcade style digging game. This one has the shooting mechanic too. We're running around as a rover, like a vehicular combat game, similar to combat or tank style games that Atari did. This one is the 47th game we've played that's a vehicular combat game across all systems. If you want to be able to dig around or be able to shoot at the same time, in the arcade we played a game called Borderline, also known as Star Raker. And so it's kind of like that a little bit, and then also kind of like Tank Battalion that we also saw in the arcade. Another one we recently saw that you could dig around was that roguelike Catacombs, or another one which you didn't dig that much, but Datnoids that we just played. So it's still an interesting play, but because this is responding where I'm not sure if it's working. Yeah, why is my score staying at 0? Is it an issue with the game that I have? Maybe it needs a little bit of debugging. And maybe that's the reason why we didn't find the artwork for it. There's so many questions. What if I make it to the other side? Yes, nothing. Nothing happens if my little arrow makes it to the other end. But it is calculating my number of lives. So I don't really want to call it broken or down in the 1-star range, but there's something off about Exterminate. We also, since we don't know who developed it, I have no one to talk to see if this is what's going on. I'm looking over the chat. I already see a 2.5-star rating of all the games you could play across all home computers. That's pretty good. I'm actually thinking around that same thing. Yeah, I know, it's everything, all with this game. I love it, Marshall. All right, so that's just a quick taste of Exterminate. Lots of questions that need to be answered. So this is the Wild West of video games. We've already said that before, and this is one of those examples that I want to know more information. I want to have more artwork, maybe a manual that would explain what Exterminate is. But we do play everything, and here on the show, I have to say I would want to say 3.5 stars if I had more information, just because of how unique it is, and it does play well with a joystick on a computer. Yes, way to go, whatever your name is. Of all the games you can play across all home computers, though, because we weren't getting the score and we don't really know exactly how to play, it's an interesting idea, and it's around the average range. I'm thinking, yeah, 2.5 stars. In fact, is that all the ratings? Is everyone? And maybe not Kun. I can't do a 2.23. But I'll say 2.5 stars of all the games you could play across all home computers. I really want to say 3.5 because it is an above average idea and concept, but just there's a few things missing from it. Oh yeah, thanks, Curtis. We can just read what it has from Moby Games as well. Yes, aliens destroyed, but if they cross the stream, we lose points, but I never saw the score going up or down. Very interesting. All right, we're going to press forward to see what our next release is. Next, let's go to IBM Computers. This is FaceMaker. FaceMaker. I don't know if we've ever seen this one. Well, this is released on lots of computers, by the way. This is not to be confused with FaceMaker that's on a lot of United Kingdom micros by Applied Systems Knowledge. This one is a completely different game. This is our 122nd game we played for MS-DOS, or PC Booter, or PC-DOS. And it's by Spinnaker. The 6th game that we've seen by them. Some of the other ones were like Snooper Troops and Story Machine. So that means it's educational, kids. Flip it over in the back, you can see it's just making faces, it looks like. Yes, it's for the wrong demographic. In other words, not me. Here's the manual for FaceMaker. We know we're in trouble whenever the manual has a note to parents of what the kids are going to be doing. I just find it fascinating that kids are going to be playing computers, and they expect, what is that, they expect 3-year-olds to be on a computer right now in November 1982. I just don't see that happening. I see boredom and not paying attention. So it has all the different ways to play and make faces, and we'll just boot it up so you can get an idea of what the game is, because it's borderline a game. Yeah, besides the manual, yeah, we're going to just pop it and play FaceMaker. Nice. We get some music on MS-DOS. I'll take it. Music's actually really good. And yeah, keep that sound going. Do I want a white background? Sure. Oh gosh, yeah. So this one is educational. Of all the games we've seen up to this point, this is the 90th educational video game across all systems that we've seen here on Chronologically Gaming. And this one is kind of like, you know, early childhood, the 26th game we've seen that's kind of like for babies. Okay, so what do we do? Spacebar, give me a mouth. Okay, so that's how we get our mouth. Let's make it look like me. My best mouth would be that one. My eyes, oh, that's definitely my eyes. And then, oh, we can do escape for another color. So I can do red ears if I want to. Yeah, there we go. So, my ears have to be the biggest ears, yes. And then nose, yeah, we'll keep a green nose. Biggest nose, I gotta have that. And then, can we get brown hair? How many colors do we have here? Yeah, just 4, right? Yeah, we'll do that one. And then, there we go, perfect. Looks exactly like me, see? Can you see the likeness? It's FaceMaker. That's right. Oh gosh, not even close, manly. But there you go. There's also a game you can play. It's like a Simon Says game that comes with this. You just follow along whenever you're ready. So like, he just did a, what did he do? Smile? Was that a smile? And you did smile, smile. And so you can also do a program to program in all the different facial features. I actually missed that. Was that smile, smile, wink? No. Oh, smile, smile, tongue. And so it's Simon with face, and then you can also program in, you can see the program down at the bottom. You can program in different things as well. But that's it. That's all you need to see for a FaceMaker. There's not too much here. I'm really the wrong person that FaceMaker's for. I find it hard to believe that any kids actually enjoyed things like this or games like this. If you were, what does it say, 3 years old? Not even going to happen. So if I was going to say this for myself, like a rating for me, I would say 1.5 stars of all the games you could play up to this point. I mean, this is if you want to say the games in here, Simon Says is in here, or Simon. This is the 12th video game we've played that has Simon in it, but because this is not made for other people, I'll rate it on a higher rating and say 2 stars. It's still bad, but it's fairly decent for all the games you could be playing up to this point, but still 2 stars. Yeah, that's a great point, Chiptune. Oh, I'd love to have a police artist do that for me. All right, so there's FaceMaker. Let's see what our next video game release is. Coming up next, we're playing on the Atari home computer. This is Fantastic Voyage. I feel like we should have played this one at this point too, but no, this is the very first time we've seen Fantastic Voyage. Yes. Oh, nice. 20th Century Fox. It is official. This is the 387th game we've played on the Atari 400 or Atari 800 home computer. This is the video game cartridge. Got to get that cart in there. So the front of the box, I believe, is the same as the movie box. Yeah, 20th Century Fox for this one. Flip it over the back. Oh, Serious Software did this. Nice. This marks the 38th game we've seen that Serious Software had anything to do with, and the 8th game that Serious Software has done on the Atari home computer. It's a matter of life and death. And it is based on the movie, which is shrink. If you're not familiar with the movie, you shrink down to a really small size, and you go inside people's bloodstreams to help them fight an infection or cure a disease. So that's what the idea is. It's a sci-fi action sort of movie. You shrink down to small size, and you're going to travel through the human body. And that's what we're going to do in video game form. Defense cells, bacteria, antibodies, and enzymes are the only strange obstacles you'll find along the way. Prepare yourself for one fantastic journey. What other artwork do we have for Fantastic Voyage? Besides the box, here's the ad you would have seen. Other games that Serious Software has done, I believe we've seen Deadly Duck and Fast Eddie. Turmoil is the one we haven't seen yet. We're going to be seeing that one pretty soon. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't think they remade any of the classic movies. Yeah, I didn't even know this was on home computer. I'm familiar with the release we're going to see later on the Atari, but it was actually released here first. Or Atari home console. So there's the cartridge. We're going to pop into our Atari home computer to play. Don't try to plug this into your Atari VCS. It just won't work. It might work on the Atari 5200. Just kidding. It won't. There's the example of the screenshot. And we also have the manual. Oh, I need to know how to play this. This is a really fantastic game, pun intended, because we played plenty of games that play very close to the movie Fantastic Voyage. So I really want to see how this plays out. All right, so here's how you go. This one has, wait a second. The VIC-20 and Commodore VIC-20 version? Commodore 64 version? I don't think there's a Commodore VIC-20 version of this game. Quick, someone look that up. I don't think that exists. But it explains how we begin the game. We turn the power on. We can select a play level if we want. The objective is you and your submarine are injected into the bloodstream of a critically ill patient. Your mission is to travel through several phases of artery obstacles and destroy a life-threatening blood clot. We got our Atari VCS joystick to control it. Our sub is equipped with the medical technology's finest laser ray. So remember, the ship we're flying in is a submarine. Or we're actually in the bloodstream, so we're a submarine. They've shrunk down into tiny size. We can hold the button down for rapid fire. Awesome. The select key, we have different play levels, and option key just pauses the fantastic voyage. I got to be careful not to hit my option key on the Atari home computer. And then there it is, the VIC-20 and Commodore 64. There's asterisks by them, so I don't think it ever came out. I wonder if there was a licensing problem, but I'm amazed the manual has that. So you can see the different keys on your keyboard will do that, and then explains the screen display and scoring. Heart monitor displays the patient's condition. Every time that you have a problem, the heartbeat's going to increase higher and higher, kind of like we're playing Space Invaders. Here's the obstacles that we're going to have. Oh, we have antibodies, enzymes, phase 1 defense cells. There's the current score. It shows us at the top what the blood, a blood clot. Yeah, we have to make sure we destroy that if we ever get to phase 2. And then phase 3, phase 4, everything's there. A very challenging phase. Phase 5, when we near the goal, we'll find the artery begins narrow. And all these phases are essentially stages that we're going to be going through. Yes, if there were plans, Charlie, I don't think they ever were. They already put them out in the manual. So here's the play levels that you can hit the select key on your Atari home computer and have 6 different play levels. Looks like we have a normal, extended, difficult. Ooh, we need to do difficult for level 3. I got to remember that one. All right, so and then we have some hints from the designer. Thanks, we're going to need those. And then the other video games. Look at all these from Serious Software. Oh, even the ones that are on the Atari. Oh, it doesn't say Atari home computer. It just says the either on disc or VIC-20 and Commodore 64. Sweet. Oh, there we go. Game design by David Lubar. Way to go, David. This is also done by Tom McWilliams. I believe he's the one who brought it over to the Atari home computer. All right, so this one has several different versions. Let's pop in and play Fantastic Voyage. There we go. David Lubar, brought to the Atari home computer by Tom McWilliams. At the beginning of November, 1982. Can we speed up? I think we'll fast forward through this one. Yeah, there we go. It's starting off with an attract mode. A very terrible attract mode, though. So David Lubar, this is the 3rd game we've seen him do after Worm War 1 and Challenge of Nexar, both on the Atari VCS. Tom McWilliams, this is his 3rd game that we've seen, too. He did Borg on the Apple II and Fast Eddie on the Atari home computer. You can already see what kind of game we're dealing with here. I'm going to go ahead and push select. I want to go with game mode 3, super challenging and difficult, and then go. All right, we got it. We're in. Yep, auto fire does work. I can just hold down the button and fire. Nice. All right, so I also have freedom to move around. Oh, and change the speed up. Okay. Well, this is great. So it's a vertically scrolling shoot 'em up, and the premise of being in the bloodstream is really, really cool. They got a nice job done with the colors here. Looks like we have... Yeah, I'm already seeing the different enemy types. Or, I'm sorry, antibodies, since we're a submarine through the bloodstream. But smooth scroll. We've already made it to stage 2, so you can see they're changing some of the enemy types here. Oh yeah, we're already getting much more difficult to pass through. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna have to lay off the auto fire and actually aim and fire. They're keeping track of the score at the top, and the heartbeat at the bottom is based on your health. So like if you... Oh wait, no, wait. Oh, the more of these that pass by, it's not our health. Yeah. We just flatlined because I allowed too much to pass my sub. I have to destroy all those before they pass. Yeah, that really is challenging. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's try the normal. Let's do 2. We'll do a little bit more difficult than normal. So I cannot let them pass. I have to destroy and clean up. So it's almost like we're playing this is like a pseudo job that we're working. Here, pass by. Oh, and we do we can get hit, so I can actually use my sub to take some of these out. Whoa, that is the tiniest. Whoa, that's a really hard one to hit. Okay, so we're looking pretty healthy. Our patient's looking good, and I just allowed one to pass. Is that... Yeah, it's not... And the heartbeat speeds up, so you really need to take everything out. Clear all the enemies. Alright, so I already enjoy this. I'm amazed after a licensed game that is playing this well. Here, majority of the licensed games we've played, they're actually really good. The vibes right now in November 1982 is, if the game's licensed, it's amazing. You need to buy it right now, which is really scary because I know the future of video games. This is an auto-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Of all the shoot-'em-up, the games we played up to this point, this is the 88th auto-scrolling shoot-'em-up. On the Atari home computer, this is the 13th auto-scrolling shoot-'em-up that we played. Some of the really, really good ones that are out there is, I would liken this as like Caverns of Mars, but going the other direction. Caverns of Mars, we're going from the top to the bottom. But yeah, the colors are well done, controls are well done. The premise and idea works great. Another one that was really good was the sequel, Phobos. This one reminds me of that too. So both of those are really, really good games. And this one, same. This one plays, responds well. A great arcade-style game. Why is my heartbeat so... Am I not going fast enough? I can move freely. See how far up on the screen can I go? Look at that. I can make this sucker scroll so fast. Do we got to get to the blood clot faster? Whoa. I felt like we totally obliterated the game. All right, let's go in again with game mode 1. It just got too intense. This is the very first official Fantastic Voyage game, too. Licensed based on the movie. Oh, every time I hit the walls. I gotcha. Because that's damaging the arteries. I have to make smart decisions. Shots that are not hitting the walls. See? If I keep doing that, does it increases blood pressure? It doesn't look like it. It just doesn't appear that way. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be messing up his heart rate or raising the heart rate too much. Now, what's really fascinating about this game is we've already seen Fantastic Voyage games. They just weren't official. They weren't called Fantastic Voyage. And this is the 6th game that is just like this. I mean, we're shrunk down. We're inside of a human body. So at this point, it's not original because of on all systems we've already seen it plenty of times. Some of the other ones out there would be games like Microbe or Microscopic Journey or Suicide Mission. Gosh, it's so bad. Tooth Invaders was another one we played, or Microsurgeon. Oh, maybe these are... Oh, I see. These are the ones that are helping us. We're just supposed to avoid them. Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it. So we have these bad. And the other one's good. And we're just supposed to avoid. And that gives me even more vibes of Caverns of Mars. Great play control, great premise. And even with all the games we've seen across all systems, this is still the 13th that's kind of like this, but obviously playing in a different way. All right, so I'm just going to avoid. Nice and easy, guys. I do want to take you out. Yeah, there we go. And make our way stage by stage. I also like the vibes of Scramble, where we're going stage by stage, and you want to see what the next one is. Oh, I didn't get that one. Uh-oh. It's getting smaller, tighter. This is awesome. Yeah, lots of fun. What a world we live in right now that we are able to be excited about a licensed game from a movie that, you know, if I was a kid right now, I wouldn't have seen the movie. It's awesome, though. So we will see this later on the Atari VCS, or Atari 2600. Uh-oh. More dodging, barely. Oh, there's the blood clot. Get it. Ooh, get it. Awesome. Oh, very nice. Another game that I just want to keep on going and play. It's a blast. So, of all the games you could be playing across all home computers right now, I'd say this is still not average, but actually say above average. Caverns of Mars was a big hit, and this one's really close to Caverns of Mars. I see in the chat, Kunz throwing out a 4-star. Yeah, 3.5, maybe even 4 of all the games you could be playing across all home computers. Because while we've seen some other home computers with shoot-'em-ups that play or look a little bit better than this, it's still very, very good. Yeah, thanks, Curtis. 3 or 3.5. So yeah, looking over the chat, Chiptune's going way low. 2.5 of all the games you could play. You probably got burned by licensed games, Chiptune, and I understand. Now that you see this, you don't want to give any more money to 20th Century Fox. And I see Paul with 4 or 3.5. Yeah, I'll say still above average. 3.5 stars of all the games you could play across all home computers. There's other shoot-'em-ups. There's some better shoot-'em-ups, but this still plays pretty well. All right, so there you go. After that, I actually want to show one more game before we call it quits. Here's the next release on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Flight Simulation. We'll go over just a little bit because I really wanted to squeeze this in before we close out the night. Flight Simulation. We've already seen this on the Sinclair ZX81 in 1981, and here it is on its bigger brother, the ZX Spectrum. I was amazed there was a flight simulator game on the ZX81, and I'm going to be amazed about the ZX Spectrum too. Pretty much the same box that we had seen before. What other artwork do we have for Flight Simulation? Oh, this, and also if it was in North America, it was on the Timex Sinclair 1000 Flight Simulator. Maybe that one looks more like the one you played. So there we go. There's the cassette we're going to pop into play. Some Flight Simulation, or Flight Simulator if it's North America. It was released later for only £2.99 pounds. So this was the budget release. Flip over the back. You can even see they have a map on the back of the cassette tape. Awesome. With an example of the screenshot as well. The manual we have for this one is the homebrew. So someone typed up, told us, we don't know exactly, they're not saying what the author is, but I'm pretty sure it's Charles Davies. All right, this one has lots of different versions as we saw before. It's released later on 1983 on tape. There's the 1982 version that we're going to be playing now, and then the $2.99 classic version and the Timex Sinclair version. This is the very first one you could play. It is November 1982. This is Charles Davies, developed by Scion Software. At the beginning of November 1982, our 121st game we played on the ZX Spectrum, and we are going to crash. I can tell you right now. All right, so we can do in flight, we can do the final approach or takeoff, the same thing we saw on the ZX81. This is the 12th game that Scion Software has done, or that we've seen on all home computers, and it is Charles Davies' first game that we've seen here on the show. Go, Charles, go. Sweet. And let's do it with final approach. We're doing our final approach. Do we want wind effects? Yes, against my better knowledge, give us wind. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm using the cursor keys. You could have a cursor joystick, but I'm going to use the cursor keys to do this. Watch this. Oh my goodness. I can't believe... Can you believe this? It's like real-time flight simulation on the ZX Spectrum. This actually feels even better than it was on the ZX81. So I'm still blown away that this is a thing. And I got my pitch. Oh my goodness. I don't believe it. And we're going to go in for an approach and most likely crash. But this is a feat. This is amazing. This is on the ZX Spectrum right now in November 1982. Pull up. There we go. Give me a little bit. I'm doing this all on that spongy chiclet keyboard on the ZX Spectrum. It's amazing. Oh man. Yeah, so I have the controls. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to get my landing gear down too. Yeah, flaps, I believe, are down. And I think that's the runway. where that small mass of pixels is. I'm just amazed at how well this is responding. There is flight simulators that we played that barely respond, that we just know they're a flight simulation, but it doesn't really do much. This is the 18th flight simulator that we've seen on the show up to this point. Amazing. Yes, and this is working. I'm blown away. More than I was on the ZX81, actually. So I'm not using the cursor joystick. I'm playing it as you most likely did first on the ZX Spectrum or the Timex Sinclair 1000. I think that was 1983, but the very first time, I'm sure this was done with just the cursor keys. Numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the ZX Spectrum. Wow. Oh, yes. What do you do, Paul? You crash the plane. That's what happens whenever it gets all gummed up. I can't believe it. It's actually allowing me to control. Now, what I'm amazed at is the response. When I push down the key, even typing on the ZX Spectrum sometimes has a feel of a delay. This it is delayed, but I mean, for all this flight simulators that you can be playing across all systems, this is really well done. Very well done. I don't know if it's an aircraft carrier. I don't know if it's blue fields that we're landing in or if that's ocean. Most likely ocean. We've seen flight simulators do tricks where they have it all black and white, you know, to make it dark, or it's just black because it's flying at night, so they don't have to draw in as much. Wow. Yeah, I'm guessing that was the runway, and I'm going to miss it. Yes, it's amazing, Curtis. Yeah, that this was possible. Charles Davies is a genius because it's essentially, whoa, look at that crash. Oh, that was the ground, so it wasn't ocean. I was expecting that to be ocean. There you go, another crash here on Chronologically Gaming. That's pretty nice. Of all the flight simulators up to this point, that's amazing. That was on the ZX Spectrum, and there's the 3 different modes you could be playing. That was just, you know, we're in the air. We didn't have to take off. We did have to land. We did so in a terrible fashion. Yes, I'm sure most people are. Since we play so many video games across so many genres, it's kind of difficult to rate games that are not really your cup of tea or games you didn't play as much. But of all the games you could be playing right now across all home computers, this is big. This is one of the things that took United Kingdom by storm. It was copied several times. It's very, very well done. It is not the best. Mind you, it's not the best. Before the end of the year, we are going to get the very best, where they kind of fine-tune the A2FS1 flight simulator, and it's going to be released very soon, so we look forward to that. I'm just going to say, of all the games up to this point, though, 4 stars for this one. This is fantastic. You would have had a blast if you were into flight simulators. It's top tier, but it's not the top of the top, but it's still very, very good. It's amazing it's on this system. 5 stars if it was only for the ZX Spectrum. Oh, right, yeah, very, very little. I don't even think there was. They may not have done any sound because it was just about making the movement of your plane, being able to tilt back and forth. Crazy. All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. Thanks so much for tuning in live on the show and being a Chronologically Gaming influencer. Here we are playing every single video game in order of release all over the world. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, forget Pac-Man Fever, we got Frogger Fever. All official Frogger and on systems you may not expect. That's it for today, and like I always say, you know where I can get a real paddle controller? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.